I started 7 companies. One was Ancestry.com, which was the kind of proudest success that I've had in business. But I blew it from a people standpoint. I completely blew it because I was looking for 3 narrow sets of talents. I valued internet marketers, I valued engineers, I looked for people that could implement my vision, and I ignored pretty much everybody else. I actually didn't know, I actually was bugged by having hundreds of employees that did stuff I didn't know what they were doing. If I had had the lens of strength and valued people the way I do now, my companies would have all turned out differently, and I wouldn't have left as CEO. I would have had a COO to do the daily operations, the stuff, the consistency and the communication and so forth. I would have celebrated my people more than you can believe. There's almost no joy in life, in business, that I've ever experienced more than recognizing and celebrating the talents and the achievements of my coworkers. Let me just tell you, the world is kind of messed up right now. Obviously, we know there's a lot of things that are wrong with the world, but there are things that are right too. And all we have to do is find the things that are right and build on that. Don Clifton looked at the field of psychology and said, well, everyone studies what's wrong with people. What Don Clifton set out to do is to study what's right with people. He would go and look at the top performers in any role at any company, and he would study what is it about these top performers that sets them apart from the average productive worker. And Don listened for clues to talent, because talent is the pathway to success. And Don wanted every human being to experience excellence. Don wanted to devote his life to building something great. I think Don Clifton has created a new science around psychology and strength. And the world he wanted to create was a world built on the strengths of each of its inhabitants. To me, Don Clifton's simple philosophy can be implemented anywhere by anybody who actually cares about other human beings. The world is hungry for good news, and the good news is that we all are immensely talented individuals. And yet, Don Clifton believed, and through studying hundreds of thousands of people, knew that everybody is talented, immensely talented. In fact, he said if you take any 10,000 people, every one of them will be better and more talented at something than the other 9,999. So, the invitation for all of us who are joining the Strengths movement is to use our time and our influence to help every single individual understand the incredible latent talent that they have. One of my favorite comic strips has a CFO talking to a CEO. And the CFO is worried about money and says, well, what if we invest in our people and then they leave? And the CEO replies, what if we don't invest in them and they stay?